We have put this piece together based upon information we have learnt and our experiences over many self-drive safaris. It is intended as a rough guide only. For further information, we recommend a small booklet called Understanding Elephants by the Elephant Specialist Advisory Group. We will leave its ISBN number below.
We feel sure there are other good books on the subject available.
African elephants live in a female-dominated society. Breeding herds can be anything from 2 to 20 plus. Each herd will have an older matriarch, usually the oldest and largest. When a herd gets too large for the area, it splits with the most closely related remaining together. If a young elephant calf can walk under its mother's belly, that signals it is usually under 1 year old. A young calf cannot use its trunk until it's about 2 years old. Until that time it relies on mother's milk. Males between 2 and 10 years old venture further away from their mothers. Females between 2 and 10 years old will begin to look after their younger siblings. Males between 10 and 15 years old will begin to leave the herd and mix with other males. At 15 years plus, both males and females are sexually mature and classed as adults. At this stage, adult males will have left the herd to form links with other males and will be taller than the females. Adult females will remain with the herd and will continue to look after siblings and usually have their first calf. At 25 years onwards, the male's head takes on an hourglass shape. At 35 to 50 years old, females have a lengthened back and have hollows above their eyes. Their ears are held low. By 40 years old, adult males are very big, standing 1 metre plus taller at the shoulder than females. A mature male weighs up to 6 tons. He has a rounded head, his belly slopes and his penis sheath is visible. His tusks are thicker at the lip than a female's. A mature female weighs up to 3 tons. She has an angular forehead, more of a horizontal belly line, and her breasts are usually visible. Tusks are more slender than the males. The gestation period for an elephant is 22 months. They will usually go 4 years between calves, as calves will suckle for 3 to 5 years, although they will start to taste solid foods after 3 to 4 months. When resting or possible danger detected, the calves are encircled by the adults. Having left the breeding herd, bulls form bachelor groups. Sparring ascertains hierarchy. This is where size and strength matters. Bulls will mix with herds randomly and move between groups in search of females in oestrus. From 25 years onwards, bulls have annual cycles of must. It's where their testosterone levels can increase by up to 50 times. This also gives them better mating opportunities. In must, males become more aggressive. Their temporal gland between the eye and ear secretes oily fluid, and they constantly dribble urine. Elephants need to keep cool. Flapping ears cool their blood. They bathe whenever they can and plaster with mud and sand. Elephants need 100 to 200 litres of fresh water every day. A trunkful equates to about 5 to 10 litres. Elephants favour grazing for fresh grass. They will also browse on leaves. Bark, roots and twigs are eaten too. Adult bull elephants will eat 300 to 400 kilos of fresh food per day. Adult females about 250 kilos per day. This is about 6 to 8% of their body weight. Their digestive system is poor, as they only digest about 35 to 40% of what they eat. Elephants have 6 sets of teeth throughout their lives. Elephants are very tactile. They touch with their trunk, tail, head, ears and whole body. Entwining trunks are used to greet and solicit play. Putting their trunk inside another's mouth is showing subservience. They stand close to those they like, and adults will discipline youngsters with their trunk by shoving, slapping or pulling them. Elephants have a very good sense of smell. They can recognise each other by smell. They touch each other's genitals, mouth, ears, temporal glands, dung and urine with their trunks. This tells them about each other's health, emotional state and reproduction status. They will smell the air to detect other elephants or danger over great distances. Smelling the air can also be a sign of unease. Sharon likes to call this the smellings and the tastings. An elephant's sight, whilst poor, is not as bad as commonly thought. They use visual signals to one another over short distances. Threat displays like spreading ears and lifting the head to appear larger, purposely moving in particular direction to encourage others to follow. And sometimes they show their frustration by the shake of their head or throwing a stick. Elephants use vocal communication over short and long distances. They have a varied repertoire, from trumpeting to calls too low for humans to hear. About 30 calls have been deciphered. They range from managing group movements to warning of danger such as poachers. Contact calls are made when group members are dispersed over large areas. Female elephants can tell the difference between calls of family members from those of outsiders. Matriarchs can distinguish over 100 individuals from their calls, and they also give them names. Elephants can identify individual voices from as far away as 2.5 kilometres. They can respond to calls heard 4 kilometres away. On clear, calm nights, hearing can reach up to 10 kilometres. To listen, an elephant will raise its head, spread its ears and freeze. Some elephant calls include rumbling, a low sound used for contact, trumpeting, made by forcing air through the trunk. This can act as an alarm, a warning to chase off intruders, but it's also used when greeting other elephants at, say, a waterhole. Growling or roaring, a loud guttural sound produced with open mouth and head lifted, is used when an elephant is annoyed or frustrated. Young calves can also scream, usually when in a panic. Seismic waves travel through the ground. Elephants have sensory corpuscles in their feet and trunk tip. They can pick up waves up to 32 kilometres away. Waves caused by thunderstorms can be picked up 160 kilometres away. They can also detect waves made from running or charging elephants. Signs an elephant is feeling uneasy can include trunk in the air and sniffing. This is an obvious sign an elephant is aware of a presence. Picking up vegetation but not feeding or slapping vegetation against its body shows it is uneasy or there is a conflict. Throwing branches, twigs or stones is an escalation of a possible conflict. Swinging one raised foot suggests it's not sure what to do next. If its trunk touches its own face, this is done for reassurance when in conflict or feeling uneasy. Tail raising, trunk twisting and biting trunk are all signs of uneasiness. Signs of aggression and threat include ear spreading, standing tall, lifting their head and chin raised, Head shaking, causing ears to flap. The more vigorous, the more annoyed they are. Swinging or tossing their trunk, blowing air, making a whooshing sound. Trumpeting or air blast, but this is sometimes used in play too. Ear slapping against body, generating a popping sound. Throwing dust or branches towards an opponent, and their aim is accurate. Pointing tusks towards intended target with ears spread is a serious threat. A mock charge will include rushing forward, ears spread, stopping and kicking up dust, and swinging trunk, sometimes trumpeting. A real charge will include rushing forward, ears spread, trunk held close, head low, tusks directed, and not stopping. Elephants form alliances with members of the herd. They can work together to solve problems like rescuing a calf trapped in a drainage ditch. Elephants recognise others as individuals and keep track where family members are. The next bit gets me. Elephant behaviour demonstrates they understand the emotions and goals of others. Elephants have empathy. They help and comfort others in distress or in danger. They also try to help troubled or dying elephants. There is more to elephant society, ecology, behaviour and communication than mentioned here. However, we hope this has helped you to know elephants a little better.